the tables, let's look at how today could swing your fantasy team towards a win in this week with 14 kills, 11 assists, and a triple kill as Graves earlier today. The Week 3 Day 2 fantasy leader in Europe is Gambit Gaming Pinoy with a total of 52 points. Congratulations to him, and well, good for Gambit on getting themselves on the board as well.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, they've been struggling so far, but I heard the screams from Gambit up to here. They were so happy about that win, and obviously the old guard racking up some wins is pretty good for the confidence too.
All right, and while there was a lot of big play this week, 5 players stood above the rest as OP players. Our top 5 players for this week are first up, Woolite from Roccat. He definitely found himself in this one last week on the hyper carries late game. This time Graves and I believe it was Lucian. I can't really, but it was a very good performance for him. Twice Graves actually.
Definitely for him. Like last week, I didn't really like him on the hyper carries because I have played with Woolite in the past. And he seems to be a bit over-aggressive at some points. So putting him on a hyper carry can risk you the game. But if he's able to get the early game priority and translate that into a good mid game, he's gonna roll over his enemies. And that's what he did this week.
Yeah, and secondly, it's a teammate of him, Yukdog, also for Roccat in that mid lane, showing some very much impressive Kassadin play. Seems to be his go-to pick for now, and it is working out.
Yeah, exactly. For Roccat, it seems to be good to have a stabilized mid lane, which just skates safely into the late game, because Roccat has been struggling with actually having LeBlanc mid, building mages, etc. Like actually translating that into mid-game and late-game control. But this Kassadin kind of gives them safety in the mid lane and allows them to advance the game on other points.
Yeah, our next OP player is Forgiven. We just talked to him, and to be honest, it is a hard discussion. Maybe you should have had MVP, but definitely OP. We had him here on the desk, so confident, and actually a little bit more toned down. I think that he's really settling in his role and knows that his team behind him is incredibly strong.
Yeah, exactly. He just shows confidence. He doesn't seem to be edgy or anything like that. He just knows that the team that he's playing on right now has the potential to not just be the best in Europe, but potentially be a threat at Worlds.
Next one that is up is Shook. His play here today on Rengar and yesterday was lethal. Didn't come through the end, but you said it as well. If he's able to get going early, he loves doing that, and he can really get his team rolling.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Shook when he gets kill priority lanes and actually kill lanes where he has a CC coming in from his mid lane or from his top lane. Like we saw the same thing with Lee Sin Irelia combo at Worlds, for example, which they harmonize beautifully with. Shook is someone that if you give him the right combo, he's gonna snowball because he knows how to do it from solo queue, from hours of playing it. And he's gonna carry the game. And he tried pretty hard today. They were ahead at some point, threw a bit, but nonetheless, Shook had a lot of early game impact, and you really gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah, you mentioned the snowball. Our last OP is Freeze on Draven today. Fantastic performance. After he got that first blood, he was like, yes, I am going to carry this.
Yeah, he just saw the gold raining upon him. He's like, yeah, this game is OVER. And really translate that into beautiful late game team fighting, especially with the combo of Soren, who played a beautiful Cassiopeia, and the team around him, like operating around him, forcing the team to operate around him.
Yeah, and a 2-0 for the Copenhagen Wolves in that one. But of many, one reigns supreme, our Week 3 MVP with a 5.6 KDA and a 97% kill participation in 2 games is none other than SK Gaming's Svenskeren. Now, we had to discuss a little bit about it, but in the end, Svenskeren is setting up so much for that team. He was the first one to pull out the Nidalee jungle and make it happen. Today here on Jarvan, once again, we can't praise him enough.
Exactly. Like yesterday, he basically solo carried the early game, made Lulex seem like a little spider down there, like being flushed down the drain. And today, again, his engages and his decision-making in teamfights basically carries SK throughout the bad phase that they had during this game. And I don't know who the shot caller is for SK, but it's Forgiven said, like everyone does the calls, especially when you're behind. Like I actually want to give it to the whole team, but you just can't do it. Svenskeren just stands out because he solo carried yesterday and did a really good comeback today.
Yeah, SK Gaming doing well. And what a week overall here in the European LCS. But we will continue next week as the Giants Gaming take on Gambit. And the Unicorns of Love will go up against Roccat as they jockey for a position in the middle of the table. Any matchups you have your eye on? We see that Unicorns of Love, Roccat. Copenhagen Wolves are up against SK. That'll be
actually, that would be an interesting matchup because we have so many ex-CW players like walking around the stages here, like Woolite, then you have Freeze, like who's a current CW player. But like you have so many people that have been on CW, and seeing Forgiven facing his old team is really like it's gonna show his poise, because he must have been mad after that spring split. Maybe I had something to do with it too, so sorry for that. But he's gonna come out and try to prove a point that he is the best AD carry, and no AD carry can replace him.
That's actually why we got you over here, just reunion time and having fun.
Thank you.
No, just kidding. And of course, those games out of the European LCS next week, they all start at 6 p.m. Central European time, and that is 9 a.m. Pacific. But you won't have to wait until then for more LCS. The North American League Championship Series picks back up tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central European time, noon Pacific, with Gravity versus Team Impulse, and Winter Fox will go up against Counter Logic Gaming to close out the day. Well, you'll be seeing your buddies TSM there again as well. Any match or any game that you're looking forward to? Yeah,
obviously the TSM game. Like I really was doubting like how TSM could actually like reproduce their success in the late stages of the season 4, where we basically qualified for Worlds. We did well there, and then they had the kind of slump after I left when they played at IEM. Got demolished by Unicorns of Love, but they seem to have caught themselves so well, and I just want to basically see them happy, because quite frankly they are my ex-teammates and you can never root against them. They're all great personalities, and I'm going to look forward to that Dignitas TSM game, especially because Dignitas has a replacement coming in for Crumbs as far as I know, and it's going to show whether or not that was the right move to go.
It's fantastic of you to see all that love you have for all your own teammates. Wishing them all well.
I got too many of them. Right now.
Well, that all starts tomorrow, but if that still isn't soon enough, you can head over to the Challenger VOD Hub right now at lolesports.com to see every qualifying match for the upcoming Challenger Series season. Amazing, your team Origen just qualified early this week. Congratulations, it was a close one, but how do you think that the rest of that is going to go, and your chances on getting in the LCS here?
I think they're going to be good, because we have scrimmed a lot of LCS teams. We have scrimmed all of the Challenger teams, or most of them, and we have gotten good records against them, so I'm confident in that. But it was really scary, to be honest. Like, I've never felt so much stress in my life. Even this castle disc, I'm completely fine with it. But playing for your job is the craziest thing ever. And I tried to avoid it by joining TSM at some point. Like, you don't have to play for your job anymore necessarily in relegations, because you can't expect that.
Hey, you never know.
But well, I'm there again, so I gotta pull through.
Well, on top of that, you also did a fantastic job here on the desk. We're looking forward to seeing Origen fight for a spot in the LCS. Best of luck, of course, for that. And that wraps it up for us here in Berlin. Amazing. Thank you very much once again for lending us your expertise in this one this week. And on behalf of myself and the entire broadcast team, thank you for tuning in. And until next time, we'll see you on the Rift.